All right, I'm gonna really break this down for y'all. Do you have the video of him, what he actually said?
Yeah, what he said.
It's right here?
Yeah. Because what he actually said was like a very small lie.
That's right here, right?
Yeah.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition.
This nigga Trump don't give a fuck.
This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish, okay?
Okay, so that's what Jimmy Kimmel said to get fired, chat. Now, I'm gonna tell you why this is weird. Let's talk about who he's talking about, chat. And before I say anything, chat, this is all alleged. And I do not have any bias towards any group of people and do not hate any group of people. The decision to yank Jimmy Kimmel's show off the air wasn't quite as rash as one might think. The issue had been brewing all week throughout the executive ranks at Disney and ABC. Ever since Kimmel made comments during the Monday Night Football monologue about Charlie Kirk's suspected killer and, as he called Trump supporters, the MAGA gang. Now, chat. Kimmel has obviously been a Democrat his whole life. He's been making these type of statements. He does almost like a stand-up rift of sorts. Let's just keep that in mind. So this isn't like out of the ordinary. Let's just keep that in mind. Kimmel's remarks Monday attracted from the critics on the right, which put it on Disney's radar. On Tuesday's show, Kimmel doubled down, saying many in MAGA land are working very hard to capitalize on the murder of Charlie Kirk. But it wasn't until Wednesday afternoon after FCC Chair Brandon Carr went onto a conservative podcast and threatened to pull ABC affiliate broadcast licenses that the matter really escalated. The next started the station group, which airs Jimmy Kimmel Live in approximately 24 markets, announced they would not air the show. Now, let's do some research, chat. He helped write Project 25. Is this true? Now, look, chat, this is where we can say they're reaching, Jimmy Kimmel's reaching, right? Now, look, before I go any further, this is where it gets weird, chat. Candace Owens is probably one of the most red party black girls of all time. Now, let's watch.
All right, you guys, we're going to jump right into this with no introduction. There's a lot that I would like to speak with you guys about. Can't wait to hear your feedback. A lot of lies that are being put out there, narratives that I would say are half-truths or just misrepresentations entirely. And I don't really see the reason for that. First and foremost, to let you know, last week was not a dream. Charlie Kirk, my friend, is dead. And he was publicly executed. I want to make that clear. Charlie Kirk was code, Candace. Okay. Let's get into what we know about
the Charlie Kirk death.
The Charlie Kirk assassination thus far in terms of what the authorities are telling us. First, I just want to toss it to Michael Savage.
We're getting there.
Because the energy of this, what Michael Savage had to say about everything that we're hearing, is pretty much all of us right now. Take a listen.
The so-called FBI, something's wrong. I know I shouldn't do this. I'm risking an awful lot to go up against this FBI, the MAGA FBI. Something's very wrong with what I just heard. I mean, I watched it. I was hoping that they had caught the bastard who shot Charlie. So we saw a video of a person jumping off the roof. It looked very legitimate to me. However, there was no rifle in his hand. Now, the Mauser does not break down very easily, incidentally, for those of you who know weapons. Something's wrong with the whole thing. They're trying to claim he removed the barrel from the Mauser and fit the receiver and stock in his backpack and barrel in his pants leg, all in 2 seconds. It is not easy to remove a Mauser barrel or index it after reinstalling.
Chat. And I'm being super objective. I'm not doing no tinfoil hat shit. We're just, facts are facts, okay?
And remain accurate. We are not hearing or seeing reality. And by the way, the photo of the rifle allegedly left in the woods has the barrel installed. So we're supposed to believe a guy is on the run after killing Charlie Kirk, and he pauses in the woods to reinstall a barrel, and then he leaves it for us to find, the FBI to find. I don't believe a word of it. I shouldn't do this. I know I'm putting myself at risk, but I can't take it anymore. I can't take the bullshit from this fucking government. It's lying to us. Something's wrong. Something's so wrong. It's sickening.
Sickening is definitely the right adjective, I think, to describe how a lot of us are feeling. And all I know how to do is to gather information, to research, and to investigate. And nothing is making sense. Now, it could not be making sense because we've not arrived at the conclusion. The FBI, I will say, has recently come out and said they're looking for another person.
See who runs,
good.
Jimmy
Because
Kimmel
what we have so far
bit.
obviously cannot be it. I feel
I haven't done any research. We're doing it together.
That everybody read that book, Chaos, about the Charles Manson murders. And what we learn from that book is that if the government does want to hide something, what they do is they give you so much information that you can't, you don't even know what's real. So many different possible ways that things could have gone down, so many different manners, so many people speaking, so many publications publishing. And it's just meant to be chaotic, to drive you crazy and to just go, okay, I'm just going to accept whenever the authority says something and not prod any further. We can't allow that to happen here. I won't allow that to happen here because this something terrible has traumatized the world, okay? And I feel as though when it comes to this, the media, the government, the talking heads, everyone is confusing us about what actually took place.
Mind you, to give you all some reference, Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk are both right-winged, they're Republican, they're very conservative, they're best friends, chat. They are best friends. They are best friends. Some people are calling her Olivia Pope because she's more hurt than the actual wife now, and she's going to figure this out, she said. Just giving y'all context.
Now, Governor Cox tells us,
Groovy, this is not politics. This is just what's happening in the world. I don't care if this was the most blue or red. We're just, facts are facts, and I'm Detective Dip.
At 12:23 p.m. is when...
You said 15:10?
Bibi Netanyahu in that phone call, what took place was a couple of weeks ago before Charlie. More than one event. And he had essentially what was staged, an intervention was staged by Bill Ackman. Because Charlie's rational thoughts about Israel were a no-no. This is not the route that you should be going on. And Charlie was surrounded by his friends, his quote-unquote friends. Bill Ackman was very upset, and threats were made. That is what I am told, and I will tell you that I am very happy for Bill Ackman to dispute this narrative. In fact, he was asked to dispute this narrative. Max Blumenthal went out to him today, and Bill Ackman came back and said, I have receipts I can show you. And he did not provide the receipts. This is not how it went down. I know it went down this way. I'm waiting for one of them to go on record and to say that it didn't go down this way. It was at this time that Bibi Netanyahu was called and Charlie was invited to Israel. This was an under duress situation, I would say.
Okay, chat. This is the Prime Minister of Israel had a convo with Charlie Kirk. The Prime Minister of Israel had a talk with Charlie Kirk he was going to pay for all, because people like Charlie Kirk get paid off of donations. They get paid off of donations, okay, chat? They get paid off of donations. And Benjamin, I don't want to butcher his name, the Prime Minister of Israel said he would fund the whole thing. He just needed to take a picture in front of the Holocaust shit. And just around Israel, let's go back. I just want to give y'all some reference of like what she's talking about.
Because I've been in these situations before. When I started asking very sensible questions about Israel, as someone who had dedicated her political life to supporting Israel, many times alongside Charlie Kirk, I was met with the very same pressure. And just like Charlie was being invited to Israel, I was invited somewhere else. And when this arrived to me, it felt like a threat. You know, I got to tell you that. It felt like a threat, like not like, hey, come here and we can educate you because you're my friend. More like, this is your last chance. That's how it felt to me. I can't speak to how it felt to Charlie. And I know that Charlie was offered a ton of money in this moment. A ton of money. Bibi would fund it, you know, spend tons of money. And Turning Point, I guess, if it needed to go to a higher level, would have gone to an even higher level than it already was at. And I know for a fact that Charlie denied that funding. That Charlie denied, and what Bibi didn't include there, he declined to go to Israel for, I would describe this
Now,
as...
chat, why does the prime minister want these type of people to go to Israel? It's this thing called propaganda. Now let me look up. Let me give you the exact definition of propaganda. It's a strategic spread of information which can be true or false to deliberately influence public opinion and actions for a specific cause or agenda. Now look, as we see, Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens are both significant people in this and have an influence. So I'm just giving y'all the reference right now. What propaganda is. This is why propaganda, chat. This is also what the Nazis used to do. Now, just stay with me. Propaganda, remember that word.
It's like, re-education camp, we've seen it. You made an uh-oh, but we can help you. We just need you to come out to Auschwitz and take a picture. Yeah. We just need you to come to the Holocaust Museum and take a photo. We just need you to go to Israel and we can make this better. Charlie said no to Bibi. Okay. Bill Ackman, if you would like to dispute that, I would love to hear what you say happened, because our sources and what we have, it's solid, okay? There were conversations that took place, messages that were sent at that time, and they are solid. So
no, every government does do propaganda.
Another person that was there, and I am not surprised this person was there. If you've been listening to my show, Seth Dillon. I was going to go out to Seth Dillon, and I decided to message him last night about this Hampton.
Theme to Save the West. I told him I was available. All right, let's keep this ready. Just so we can get every point of view.
Din's meeting. And Seth Dillon, who is normally very quick with a response, has not yet been able to respond. I'll show you this text message chain. And I want to be clear, I am not someone who normally publicizes text messages. But my friend was shot in the neck. And I'm just not really in the state right now to be polite when it comes to the answers that I am demanding, okay? This is me out to Seth Dillon last night. I sent him Bill Ackman's tweets because, he tweeted, I feel incredibly privileged to have...
Let's find out who Bill Ackman is, chat. We don't know. I have no idea who Bill Ackman is. American hedge fund manager. American billionaire hedge fund... Trying to figure something out, chat. Okay. Chat, just so we can, just have to make sure. Okay. We're just trying to put shit together. This is an important person in this.
Have spent a day and shared a meal with Charlie Kirk this summer. He was a giant of a man. I said, any comment on this one, Seth? He didn't answer last night. This morning I said, need a comment ASAP, please. He didn't answer. Then I followed that up and I said, trying again here, you were present when Ackman lost his mind on Charlie and when Bibi invited him to Israel and Charlie refused. Text messages immediately following this meeting are circulating. I find Ackman's statement, as though the meeting was somehow cordial, to be incredibly disturbing. Are you at all disturbed by that tweet? Do you feel, as I do, that this tweet significantly betrays the defined purpose and mood of his, and I presume your final meeting with Charlie Kirk? ? He was unable to speak to me, but he did place some frantic calls to Turning Point USA. Yeah. You see, I went out to Seth.
What is Turning Point USA, chat? Fuck that. Oh, this is Charlie Kirk's spot. Okay. This is Charlie Kirk's profit. Okay. This is Charlie Kirk's shit. My bad. I just want us to all know. So that's why I'm overly doing it.
But I also went out to two other people who were at this meeting, and nobody is willing to go on record. They're all messaging each other, trying to figure out a coordinated response to say that, no, this was all quite cordial, but no one wants to go on record and describe it as cordial because they know someone's leaking, because someone's got a guilty conscience about what happened at the Hamptons. So I will again put it out there, Seth, Bill Ackman, and to the other individuals who I have not yet named, but who are going to be named later this week, who were at the Hamptons when Charlie was put under pressure, when Bibi Netanyahu called him and invited him to Israel, again, in a move that when it happened to me, and it wasn't Bibi Netanyahu, felt to me like a laced threat. I am inviting you guys, I will give you my platform, actually, to come clear matters up and tell us what really happened. Because, I think Charlie was definitely on the brink of changing some of his perspectives. And I can tell you factually, Charlie was praying the rosary. Charlie was going to mass. One of my last conversations with Charlie was me joking with him saying, just make the last step, okay? You are, I said specifically, you're too smart to be a Protestant. Just take the last step, Charlie. And he says, ha ha. He was speaking about Mary. And typically, when those steps start taking place, you stop referring to yourself, as I did, as a Judeo-Christian. Again, it is mystifying why, Bibi was out there doing the absolute most to make sure that Charlie was basically remembered as, I would argue, like a Jew, has not been yet mentioned. I didn't hear that. Erica was very clear that Charlie was a Christian. I believe Charlie obviously was very much a Christian, and that things are not being told truthfully. In fact, I will also call upon, since we're having fun, Turning Point USA to release
Twitter mentions
the audio of what Charlie Kirk, because I was in communication with Charlie at this time, because I knew exactly which donors were pressuring him and why, exactly which people that they were insisting Charlie allowed to speak at his event and why, when Charlie did not necessarily want those people to speak at his event, okay? I'm calling upon Turning Point to release the footage of what Charlie said to Tucker Carlson before he hit the stage, before, all of that craziness and the response to Tucker Carlson's remarks played out. Charlie was mic'd. Surely Tucker Carlson was mic'd. I know Charlie's mic'd the entire time at those events, so I'm asking for everyone to just release Charlie in his own words. I feel like that's pretty fair, right? Let's stop saying how Charlie felt, and instead, if you're going to hold up the letter, release it in its entirety, okay? Why don't you release your messages, Bill? I'll release mine. Let's all just be very...
Okay, so I think we know what she's trying to imply. I think she's trying to imply this was murder for hire. I think she's trying to imply this is murder for hire.
All right, you guys, let's actually start today's episode with a game. I mean, the feds like to play games. Let's play a game. And this is one that everybody can join in on, okay? It doesn't matter how old or young you are. I want you to grab your cell phone, and I want you to go to your text messages and search for certain terms, okay, that you just use when you speak to your friends. Terms that were just casually tossed into a conversation, the alleged conversation held between the 22-year-old alleged killer of Charlie Kirk, Tyler Robinson, and his 22-year-old boyfriend, Lance Twiggs, okay? The first term I want you to search is retrieve. Yeah, look it up. When is the last time that you...
what she's saying. She's saying
Use the word retrieve between you and a friend. Retrieve. I'm going to retrieve something. I played this game with my entire staff, and I was able to find, since dating back for the last 3 years, 2 messages where someone used that term. The first person was somebody that was former military, and the second person was a cop. Makes sense. Okay, we're not done playing this game. Second term that I want you to look for in your phone is vehicle. Vehicle. I mean, what pops up for you? Is that something that you say? I'm just going to go outside to my vehicle. I left something in my vehicle. I'll be right back. I just parked. I parked my vehicle outside. I don't remember where I parked my vehicle. What's popping up for you? Oh, probably literally nothing. Maybe something related to the DMV. That's what came up for me. Things about the DMV. I think for Skylar, something came up for his car wash. Your vehicle is ready. Sounds pretty professional. I don't know what to tell you guys, though, because what they're telling us is that is just the way the 22-year-olds are speaking these days. Apparently, they just shoot the breeze with one another, and they say vehicle and retrieve. And if you don't believe me, then good. You shouldn't believe that. You shouldn't believe me when I say that. So welcome back.
And chat, why we care about if there's a good point for this was an inside job. This is all about Kimmel though. We know about the Charlie Kirk shit. We're saying why Kimmel got fired. We're saying why Kimmel got fired. Because mind you, this is the nigga that wore blackface and did not get fired. Jimmy Kimmel has worn blackface and did not get fired. Let's remember this, chat. Stick with me.
Back to Candace. Fast vehicles. I'm a big vehicle person, said nobody ever. The text messages that were released yesterday in the indictment of Tyler Robinson don't think about it if you want it to make sense. Then we find out that Lance, I guess, decided where the notes.
Okay, so
said, I had the opportunity.
I'm gonna go through the text chat and then I'm gonna show you why this is crazy, why he's getting fired. Hold on. Chat, we're gonna read these. Let's see what they looking like. Okay, chat? Drop what you're doing. Look under my keyboard. What? You're joking, right? I am still okay, my love. Alleged text message between Tyler Robinson and his roommate on the day Charlie Kirk was shot and killed. I'm still okay, my love, but I'm stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hope to keep this secret till I died of old age. I'm sorry to involve you. You weren't the one who did it, right? I'm sorry. I am. I'm sorry. I thought they caught the person. No, they grabbed some crazy old dude. They interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of the side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering. Why? Why did I do it? Yeah, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I am able to grab my rifle and seen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it. How long have you been planning this? A bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there's a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it. I'm wishing. Hold on. Chat, this technically does look like how a crazy person would talk, not to go against what she's saying, but this is how them white boys be talking. Overly military-ass white boys. All right. Now, let's see what Trump has to say. I'm going to also bring up an Obama tweet.
There's something about that kind of don't make sense to me, though.
What?
He said, I hope to keep this, like, a secret, like, until I die of old age.
Yeah.
So why would you leave a message under your keyboard? You get what I'm saying? Like, why would you do that if you're trying to keep this a secret? And then if you're going to text about it, why would you write the note?
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
It's just kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't think, okay.
And then why wouldn't you call if that's your partner and they're like, oh, I just killed this nigga. You gonna keep texting about it?
Yeah.
You feel me?
That don't make no sense.
That don't make sense to me. I don't know.
Nah, okay, yeah. So now these texts don't make sense, chat. I agree with what Hens had to say.
Well, Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago. So, you can call that free speech or not. He was fired for lack of talent.
Okay, let's look up the ratings because we want to be fair. Because we got to keep it about. Yes, Jimmy. Yeah, I don't think this is that crazy, to be honest. This isn't that crazy. Now, let's look at these tweets. First, let's look at this nigga. A text from Charlie Kirk inviting me to the influencer retreat. It meant a lot. You wanted me here. Glad I could offer my perspective. Of course, I'm here for you. Same. This nigga is giving him Christian shit. Okay, God is our refuge and strength of very present. Facts. Okay. I said, you've been in my thoughts and prayers this weekend. And as I know, it's been a hard week for all of us. I'm reaching. This is Dylan Erickson. About the Hamptons have reached out to several people. Okay. Chat. It's not really doing it. He spoke on this. Oh. This is Barack Obama talking. After years of complaining about cancel culture, the current administration, which is Republican, has taken it to a new and dangerous level by routinely threatening regulatory action against media companies unless they muzzle or fire reporters and commentators it doesn't like. This is facts, chat. Chat, this is facts. Niggas that talked about free speech, even the nigga that just died, is now, a nigga is getting fired for doing just that. This commentary offers a clear, powerful statement of why freedom of speech is at the heart of democracy and must be defended, whether the speaker is Charlie Kirk or Jimmy Kimmel, MAGA supporters or MAGA opponents. This is facts, chat. Now, let me go back to something real quick before we go on 2K. It's right here. Now, let's look. This was the first one? Okay. Randy Mack. All right, Kimmel remarks Monday. But it wasn't until Wednesday after FCC Chair Brandon Carr went on to a conservative podcast and threatened to pull ABC affiliate broadcast license. Is this even legal, chat? Can Jimmy Kimmel sue? I'm wondering. Hold on. Can Jimmy Kimmel sue? Hold on, what happened? Not real too much. What happened? FCC Chair Brandon Carr publicly stating that Disney was at risk to lose its local broadcast license was a real serious threat for all ABC and source. Fuck, chat. Chat. I'm gonna do more research on this. And we are going to figure this out. Because this is way deeper. I want to get all the ins and outs more. Because I know it's all just, they go right with each other. So I don't want to do that right now on stream. I'd rather just give y'all the info and show y'all. But I'll do this off stream. Chat, I think we should start doing these all the time. But I'll come with the facts beforehand. I don't want to do it while I'll learn new shit. But I want to be more like educated on the topic. Does that make sense? I think this is illegal, by the way, and I think Jimmy Kimmel can sue. And I think he was wrongly terminated. But next time I'll be way more prepared. But I think this was cool. Yeah, this is going to be a fire series, not going to lie, for sure. We'll do shit, but beforehand I will know shit. Not, like, where I would know, like, that's Charlie Kirk's shit. But I think we should start doing these all the time. And I think we'll learn together. It's cool, like, we can troll, and then we can also learn shit while it's still being interesting. You feel me? Because first I thought, like, oh, let me do, like, some cool-ass science experiments. But I think we can dead learn, because I learned shit today. And it'll be even better, like, with the rapping shit. Like, once there's rapping shit and drama like that, nigga, I don't even have to look. I already know what's happening. But we should know what's happening in all parts of the world, bro, because, look, the fat boy's gonna be the richest niggas, because the most educated niggas are usually the richest niggas, chat. And let me tell you something. You know who are the most creative niggas in this world? The niggas with the most references. So that means you have to study. The creativity comes from references, callbacks, shit like that. This is how you stay sharp. Exactly, man. So if you're trying to be creative, this is what I think we do this at least twice a week. Like, really get into this more. I'm gonna learn more about this before I'll study it more, and then I can just show y'all. Cause with the rapping shit, like if we did the Young Thug shit, it would have been easy. But we should also be in all parts. Why just rap? That's so like small minded. We can really touch on anything. And this shit is dead interesting. We can really do it. We can do murder mysteries that are cool. Mad shit. We can really get into that.